When we look at a limit, we're actually considering three different pieces. We're considering the limit from the right, the limit from the left, and the limit overall. When we're looking at the overall limit, it looks like this first one right here, the limit as x approaches a. Notice it's just the limit as x approaches a. Look further down. If we have the limit as x approaches a, see that little negative right there? And then we have the limit as x approaches a again. See that little plus right there? What this means is this is the limit as x approaches a from the negative. So that means that you're coming from the left of the value. So if a is 3, you're coming from the left of 3. You're coming from the negatives. So the limit as x approaches a from the left of f of x equals L. L is important. I'll come back to that. Then we have the limit as x approaches a from the right. This means you're coming from the right going towards a. If a was 3, for example, you'd be coming from the right headed towards 3. So this is the right. And again, it is equal to L. If your left limit and your right limit are the same, then you can say the limit as x approaches just a, not signed a with the left or the right, just a, has the value of L. Let's look at this in example here. Here we're looking at the limit as x approaches 0. There is nothing here. There's no 0 from the left, there's no 0 from the right. So that means that we need to check and make sure that the limit as we're approaching from the left and that the limit as we're approaching from the right are the same values. So let's find 0. X is 0 is right here. Now let's trace our function from the left headed towards 0. So it looks like we're going like this, and it looks like we're going to get 3. Now let's go from the right. From the right over here, looks like we're going. It looks like we meet at 3. The limit from the left and the limit from the right are the same. They're both 3. So that means the limit as x approaches 0 is 3. Look at part B. Part B has our negative here. So that means that we're looking at the limit as we approach 3 and we're coming from the left. So 3, x equals 3, that's right here. Here's x equals 3. Now notice we have several different things going on here. So we have to look at each one separately. So as we come from the left, coming from the left means we're coming from the negative numbers headed towards 3. So that's going to be tracing our function like this. Now this one is only asking about the left. So as we come from the left, it looks like we're getting close to 4. We can't use 4, but we're not talking about the value at 3. We're talking about the value as we're getting closer and closer and closer to 3, and we're approaching 3 from the left. Look at part C. Now we're approaching 3 from the right. But look, approaching 3 from the right is all the way down here. From the right means we're going to trace our function headed towards 3 from the right of 3. And it looks like we're down here at 2. It's okay that these aren't the same for parts B and C because we're only considering the one side. But watch what happens. What's the limit as x approaches 3? Well, now we have a problem. Notice there's no left and there's no right indications. It's just 3. Is the limit from the left the same as the limit from the right? No, we did not arrive at the same place. When we came from the left, we went to 4. When we came from the right, we went to 2. So that means that the limit as x approaches 3 does not exist because we get 2 different values from our 2 different approaches. Now, what about the value at 3? What is our function's value at 3? Well, now we have a whole nother answer. So if you notice on our graph over here, we have this dot that's closed in right here. Notice this one is open and this one is open. So at 3, neither of those open circles are being used. Only this closed in circle is being used. So that means that at 3, our value is 3. Now you have to be careful. In this one, we approached a positive 3, but sometimes you'll approach a negative. It is okay to have something like -1 from the right as your x is approaching, or as x is approaching -1 from the left. This symbol here is not positive or negative. It is direction. You're coming from the left, you're coming from the right. This is the negative, and that just means that you would be approaching our negative number, like in this case, -1. So be very careful with the signs as you look at the different classifications here.